Sideline Sedo here, back again with another video. Today, we're going to talk about the EFL Cup, the Carabao Cup, whatever you prefer to call it. We're going to look at all the results, going to look at the draw for the fourth round. And yeah, just make sure to comment down below and give me your thoughts on the Carabao Cup results and the draw. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Let's start with match one, Aston Villa versus Everton. Aston Villa lost at home. Everton took the lead in the 15th minute through James Garner. Calvert-Lewin doubled their advantage, and then Kamara got a consolation goal in the 83rd minute. It's a good win for Everton, an Everton side that I think is trying to become more, they're trying to build something here at this point in the season. There's a clear bottom three as of right now. They're trying to get away from that relegation zone. Obviously, this isn't in the league, but this is the type of result that they could really, feel kind of, proud by and build off of realistically. And as for Villa, they have aspirations of qualifying for Europa League again, or, God knows what really. But for them, this isn't necessarily the best of steps. Winning a domestic cup would have been something that I would imagine Aston Villa fans would have really appreciated. Unai Emery would probably have enjoyed as well. But a loss like this makes that a significantly harder task this season. Next is Blackburn Rovers versus Cardiff City, 5-2. An absolute crazy game from the looks of it. You have 5 separate goal scorers for Blackburn, and Cardiff, for them, this is just going to be one of those losses that they're going to wish to remember, especially since it was 2-2 at halftime. Bournemouth versus Stoke ended 2-0. Bournemouth goes through. Solanke and Rothwell got goals. For Bournemouth, Arsenal and Brentford. Arsenal got a victory through a goal from Reece Nelson in the 8th minute. Brentford also, a team that there's a certain tier of football clubs that you would imagine that to one extent or another, a cup would mean significantly more to a Brentford compared to an Arsenal. And that's not necessarily to, pick and point necessarily at the likes of Brentford, but it just kind of is to reinforce how big of a loss this is for somebody like Brentford. A narrow loss to Arsenal, that's going to hurt a bit and might even kind of hurt some players' confidence within the team. But some players that you would expect maybe get a bit more confident are Chelsea, who got a 1-0 win at Stamford Bridge against Brighton Hove Albion. Brighton, they've had some slightly inconsistent games recently. They would also, have wanted to beat Chelsea here, but with Chelsea getting this victory, hopefully from a Chelsea fan's perspective, if one was a Chelsea fan, they'd look at this and be like, okay, we got something here. I think Chilwell went off in the 90th minute with an injury, so who knows what that means for their back line. But good win for Chelsea, all things considered. Nicholas Jackson with the goal there as well. Fulham, Norwich 2-1. Alves Morais and Iwobi with the goals, and Sainz for Norwich. Fulham beating Norwich is fairly predictable. But, from the looks of it, this match was done and dusted for a very long portion of it. I didn't watch this, of course. But, good win for Fulham, that I suppose. Lincoln City lost to West Ham. Goal from Souček in the 70th minute. And then Liverpool beat Leicester 3-1. Leicester took the lead, and a 3-1 result isn't something that Liverpool necessarily is, let's say, this isn't new to Liverpool. They've done this like 4 times this season already, going down a goal to nil at halftime and then coming back 3-1 at full time. Leicester City got a goal through McAteer. And then Gakpo had a really solid shot assisted by Gravenberch. Szoboszlai had an absolute screamer, maybe the goal of this tournament period. Like, it was just such a good strike. And then Jota had a really tidy finish as well, with back heel that made its way onto the post from a pass by Gerald Kwanzaa. So, typical Liverpool result as of late, I suppose. Leicester did apparently look solid at times, but as things go, very solid result for Liverpool. And then finally, the maybe biggest result of this whole kind of match day: Newcastle United beating Man City 1-0. Isak got a goal. This is a very rotated City side, as you could see. The likes of Oscar Bob playing, Sergi Gomez, Calvin Phillips, Rico Lewis, Ortega. You know, it puts into context why City lost this match, I would assume, because if City was starting, say, Mateus Nunes or Foden or Diaz even, or Walker, Holland, Doku, Ederson, it could totally change the complexion of the match. Newcastle admittedly didn't play, a full 11 either, like said, Livermento playing, Dummett, Lewis Miley, Hall, these were two rotated sides, and Newcastle got the win. Pep was in typical Pep fashion making kind of sarcastic comments about how they'll still win the treble, even though they, they'll settle for the treble now that they're out of the Carabao Cup because, now they can't get the quad. But here are the fixtures for the Carabao Cup round 4 draw. I will give my predictions on all of them really quick, and make sure to comment down below and give me your predictions as well. Subscribe if you're new. As always, like the video if you've enjoyed. But Mansfield Town versus Port Vale, Ipswich Town versus Fulham, Manchester United versus Newcastle, Bournemouth versus Liverpool, Chelsea versus Blackburn, West Ham versus Arsenal, Everton versus Burnley, and Exeter City versus Middlesbrough. So, I think I'll start from the bottom and I'll work my way to the top. I'm predicting a 2-1 Middlesbrough win. I'm predicting a 2-1 win for Burnley. I'm predicting a West Ham versus Arsenal is tough. Predicting an Arsenal win 3-1. Chelsea will beat Blackburn Rovers 2-1. Liverpool and Bournemouth will finish 4-3 to Liverpool. Manchester United Newcastle will finish say 2-1 Newcastle. Ipswich Town Fulham will be 2-0 Fulham, and Mansfield Town Port Vale. Let's say Mansfield Town wins. No, let's say Port Vale wins. Sorry, Mansfield Town. Port Vale wins 1-0. So those are my predictions. Make sure to comment below and give me your predictions for the Carabao Cup round 4 draw. And as always, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing, like the video if you enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Sideline Sedo. Peace.